First up, we have this metallic matte holiday plaid. You want to start by laying down Feelin' Bubbly in 2 even layers, curing fully in between each. And then we're going to grab Stiletto Red, New York, and White on a palette. Wiping the dispersion layer before you apply your lines will make sure that they stay nice and clean and don't budge. You do want to load up your brush, but before you apply to the nail, tap off that dollop of product that ends up at the tip, so that way you have a nice even application from start to finish. The key to good, straight, and clean lines is just being slow and steady. Start at the very top of the nail and slowly drag your brush down the nail. If you need to thicken it up, grab more product and repeat that process. Flash cure in between overlapping lines just for 5 to 10 seconds. That way you don't end up smudging that first vertical line that you laid down when you add your horizontal lines. Now with a plaid nail, you can do as many or as few lines as you want, but we're just going to add a second one here parallel to that first horizontal line up top. Give that a flash cure and clean your brush off with a dry, clean, lint-free wipe before going into your next color, which in this case is Stiletto Red. Same process, you're just going to start at the top and slowly drag your brush down. If you do find that your base lines are a little thicker or it's causing it to be a bit bumpy, you can grab a product like fiber gel to lay down in between stripes, and that'll even out your surface and give you a nice smooth surface to paint your extra lines on top of. We're just repeating that process again with our third and final color, which is white, and again you can do as many or as few lines as you'd like. If you do get any little bumps or imperfections, you can grab a cleanup brush and just swipe that right off. Go back over the line again with your striping brush and away you go. We're topping this nail with I'm a Matte. When you use that on top of Feelin' Bubbly, it gives that metallic a nice cool matte shimmer. And there you have your super easy holiday plaid. Next up we have this really cool jelly glitter ombre. We're using New York and Pop the Cork here. First you're going to start by applying Pop the Cork directly out of the bottle at the cuticle area. Concentrate the product, build it up a little bit thick, and then next we're going to take a detail brush and we're going to just start to lightly pull and tap that glitter down the nail. You'll see the little glitter pieces start to kind of separate and stand out on their own, so just kind of pull that down, pat it around until you get the length and the amount that you're happy with. Once you're satisfied, give it a full cure, and then we're going to grab New York. We're going to start by applying right in the center of the nail, bringing it down to the free edge, but being careful not to fully cover Pop the Cork. Get close, overlap it a little bit, but do not take it right to the cuticle. What you'll see is that because New York is a jelly color, you start to get this effect where you get a couple different colors of glitter where the green overlaps the gold. Next, you're just going to take that same detailer brush and just pat at that harsh line so that it blurs and blends with Pop the Cork underneath. Doesn't have to be perfect, we're going to layer it a little bit, but just give it a light, gentle tap, and you'll see how easily that line blends. Now you can give that a full cure before we move on to our second layer of Pop the Cork. We're just going to repeat the exact same process that we did the first time. Lay it down straight from the brush, and then we're just going to pull and tap towards the free edge with our detailer. It's completely up to you how far down you want to bring the glitter. We're going to take this layer just a little bit further than that layer underneath, just to add a little bit of extra gold, a little bit of extra pop. You can also clean off your brush on a dry lint-free wipe if you do find product building up a little bit too much in between, and then just go back and pat away until you're satisfied. Once you're happy, give it a full cure, and then we're going to go in with that optional second layer of New York over top. It's going to be the exact same process as the first layer, except this time we're not taking it quite as far towards the cuticle area. You want to leave a little bit of that gold showing so that you've got that extra poppy saturated sparkle. Once you've blended the line and you're happy, give it a full cure, and then we're going to go in with one final layer of Pop the Cork. Just pat the product on very little just at the cuticle area. Grab your detailer brush and repeat the same motions that we did before. Just pat and pull a little bit down towards the free edge. What we're going to do this time is take some of those gold flecks that are on our brush and just kind of dot them around on top of New York a little bit lower than we have been, just to make sure that we get that true gold on top of our layers of green and shimmery green. Once you're happy, give it a full cure, and then we're going to go ahead and top it off with your favorite top coat of choice. And there you have your quick and easy super dimensional jelly glitter ombre, perfect for the holiday season. Last but not least, we have this super simple matte and shiny snowflake nail. You're going to start with 2 layers fully cured in between each of Midnight Kiss. It has a really pretty mix of different size glitter pieces, giving it a really cool effect, especially when it's used under a matte top coat. A big tip when you're using chunkier glitters is on your second coat, make sure that you're really paying attention to how those bigger glitters are lying. It's better to play around with it a little bit and try to flatten them out before you cure it than having to worry about buffing them smooth after it's already been cured. After you've cured your second coat, go ahead and apply your matte top coat and give that a full cure as well. We're going to use our Simply Paint in white for this design because it doesn't have to be sealed and it doesn't have a dispersion layer, making it super easy for you to get a shiny on matte look in no time. Just grab a little bit and lay it out on your palette. That way when you're going to apply your stripes to make your snowflake, you'll be able to work your brush through it and load the bristles perfectly. The first step is carefully and slowly drawing a thin straight line down the center of the nail. You're going to then make a plus sign by making one line horizontal across the nail in the center of your first vertical line. When it comes to controlling the thickness of your lines, it's better to start with a little and then go back for more if you need to in the end. What we're going to do next is create an X overlapping that initial plus. So make smaller straight lines going diagonally across the center of your plus sign. You can flash cure in between steps, that way you won't have to worry about ruining the under layers when you're working on the following layers. The next thing we're going to do is take a dotting tool and swirl that around in your Simply White paint. We're just going to put one dot on the end of each of those lines, making sure to load up your tool in between each to keep your spots pigmented and consistent. Now we're going to go in and do the exact same thing, except in the center of each line instead of at the tip. So go ahead, put a dot on each one, work your way around the circle, and then flash cure for 5 seconds. We're going to quickly take our snowflakes to the next level by loading up our liner brush again and creating little diagonal crystal spikes at the tip of each line. With just a tiny bit of product and the tip of your brush, create 2 little diagonal lines right underneath the outer dots on each arm of the snowflake. Continue this until all of them are done and then give it a full cure. At this point, you can go in and add little dots and little starbursts all around the nail to fill in the space and add some extra glistening falling snowflakes. For super simple little starbursts, just start with a dot in the center and then with the tip of your brush and no extra product, just drag each point out like a little plus sign from that center dot. Once you're happy with your design, give it a full cure and you're done. Because we use Simply Paint, you don't need a top coat, and now you have a super simple, easy, matte and shiny snowflake design. Give these 3 designs a try and let us know which one was your favorite. Happy holidays from On Vogue to you.